What is your preferred time to study? Is it day or is it night? There's always a debate around this, right? You can see a lot of people watching for it and you can see a lot of people opposing it. So, but my point is, there's no right or wrong approach to this. It entirely depends on what you prefer. But right now, let us understand what are some advantages of studying during the day and what are some advantages of studying during the night and how each of it can actually be productive and effective. Towards the end, I also give you a small tip on how can you actually learn effectively. So do watch till the end. So without any further ado, let's get into the topic. As I told several times, people have their own preference of studying either in the daytime or in the night time. So first, let us understand like 4 advantages of studying during the day. First and foremost, since you had a good night's sleep, your body is probably in a rest state. So maybe there are chances that you have a lot more energy because you're completely from rest, and of course, start off your day with an exercise or something and you'll be even more energetic. In that way, because you have a lot more energy now, there are higher chances that you can study more efficiently. So that is the first thing. Second thing is, a lot of us would prefer to study with our colleagues or friends or whoever it can be. During the daytime, there are higher chances that you'll be surrounded with a lot more people. Be it in college or in your workplace, wherever it can be, at least you have a lot of people around you. So if you really want to study together or you want to learn together, that is something which is quite easily possible during the daytime. Third advantage is, there are a lot more people who can be approached during the daytime. Especially let's say if you have some doubts, you want to reach out to your teachers or you want to reach out to your mentors. Most of them are probably available during the daytime. What frustrates us most is if you are actually stuck at some place. And that is exactly what teachers or anybody like mentors can help us, right? They'll unblock you. And that can actually happen quite easily during the daytime. So the final advantage is, this can be a little weird, but a lot of people prefer to study in a natural light or during the daylight. They just want to have daylight. They just can't work under artificial light or during night time in dark modes. A lot of people expect that sort of brightness while studying. For that reason, it's actually quite beneficial for a section of people to study during the daytime because there's a lot of natural light and coupled with artificial lights inside that can actually brighten up. So my point is, people who prefer in the daytime, they want that brightness. They cannot just be cut out and work in the dark. And that is something which is easily possible if you are studying during the daytime. So now coming back to the advantages of working during the night time. The first advantage is, usually most of the people are louder during the day. So night actually gives you a lot more silence. So it can help you focus more intensely because your complete surroundings are in absolute silence except for some honking here and there. Otherwise, you are in pin drop silence. Because of it, you can probably completely focus. And a lot of people prefer that focus zone, right? They just cannot work around people when a lot of bustle activity is going on. Imagine you go to an office during a daytime, it's bustling with activity. And a lot of people cannot focus during that sort of a bustle activity. They just want a quiet space. They just want to have a focus time. And that is something which can 100% be possible if you study during the night. Because the bustle and hustle bustle won't be there during the night and you can probably get back your focus and concentration. Second thing is, again, this might be a little outdated, but if let's say there is a library near to where you're living and it opens during the night, you can 100% see that there are very few people who actually visit the library during the night. And that can again work to your advantage, right? Where again you have this peaceful zone, you have lesser people around you, so that your concentration levels can be much higher and the way you learn can be much more impactful. So that is something which can be quite helpful during the night. Third important advantage is, no matter what, your daytime is filled with notifications because there'll be people calling you, people messaging you, there's all the social media activity, everything becomes a distraction for you, and especially people get distracted with the notifications. And I think all of you have experienced this, like WhatsApp notifications are the biggest distraction for anybody during the daytime. But when it comes to night, I think the activity is reduced by at least 95%. Of course, social media can be a little active if let's say you're scrolling and all, but otherwise usually the notifications or people messaging you, all this is something which can completely reduce during the night. So ideally what it helps you is bring back your focus. You have lesser things to get distracted with. So you can only focus on things which actually matter to you. And that is a huge advantage when you're actually studying during the night. And the fourth important advantage is, as I told, like how a lot of people prefer a bright atmosphere, a lot of people would actually prefer working in the dark, and that's why you see a lot of people demanding for dark mode in most of the software apps that are coming in, because they just don't want that brightness. They just want that dark mode so that probably they can get into that zone of creativity. Hopefully that brings in more efficiency to the way of their working, and that can actually be super beneficial for them. For that reason, night can actually provide you that perfect atmosphere where you are not even deviated by bright lights around you. This might sound a little silly, but it actually works. And I personally know a lot of people who would prefer night or a darker setting while working on something or learning something. So as I told previously, there is no right or wrong way to it. There are advantages, like anything in the world, there are pros and cons to both the methods, but end of it, you choose what actually matches to you and you just follow it. As well, there's no comparison here. It all depends on your individual self. Try out next time if you're a person who prefers studying in the daytime or you prefer studying or learning during the night time, and see what works for you the best. So as I told in the beginning of the video, I'll tell you one simple technique which can be very impactful when it comes to your learning. My point is, in spite of all these sorts of different things we're doing, end of it, what we're craving for is to learn more effectively, to become more knowledgeable. But unfortunately, the way we are studying or learning right now is completely broken. And you need to bring a structure to your learning. Otherwise, whatever you're trying to do is just going to be superficial. That knowledge which you're trying to acquire is not something you can apply elsewhere unless you have a structured way of learning. And that's exactly what Zuperly can help you with, where we will bring that structure to your learning. All you got to do is focus on your learning. If you're wondering how we are doing it, sign up today and experience the magic for yourself. Thank you so much. That's it for this week. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.